I like to stand up, so I didn't know it was going to be this good. So far, I've only had a few people ask me, what's that for? And I was talking to Gary Sloan. He said, if you get up there on the panel, Ken's going to try to pull you off. I said, no, he's not. So this leads me into the prior life. I'm probably maybe one of the wackiest ones that ever got into this business. I used to be a golf professional. Everybody's like, golf pro? What in the world would you leave golf for, And what do you know about houses? I said, nothing really. And they said, well, you can get trained. I said, I know I can. So I left the golf industry because of my kids, because the golf industry, as a lot of people don't understand, there's two different type of golf professionals. It's the order in which you say the two words, which dictates about 7 figures. You have a professional golfer like Tiger Woods, he doesn't need to be here. Or you have a professional golfer that is stuck at the golf shop 80 hours a week, dealing with members' complaints, slow play, the range, the beverage cart girl, and everything else. So we had our child. I said, I want to watch my son grow up. So I said, I'm gonna have to get an exit strategy out of the golf industry. Well, what should we do? And I talked to some realtor and mortgage people and insurance company people, because I can actually somewhat communicate with people from giving golf lessons. They said, oh, you could sell insurance. You'd be great at insurance. I said, My wife's like, everybody hates a life insurance person, so don't do it. So anyway, they said, well, I grew up in Michigan, and I have all kinds of tools. My dad was one of those guys that pulled me aside and said, son, we're building a deck today. Well, I want to play football with them or ride my bike or something. No, come over here and swing hammers with me. So I thank him now, and I tell him all the time I thank him, because I've got friends that can't, plug in their computer, and I've learned a lot more than what I thought, even though I haven't been in the construction industry, about how to build things in houses and construction. So anyway, that's how I got the nickname Tim the Tool Man. If anybody's seen the show, Tim the Tool Man, he always wears all his Michigan stuff, so that's how I got it. But anyway, for the kids, I left the golf industry to open up the home inspection industry cold turkey. I left Barnsley Gardens. I was their head golf professional in Adairsville, Georgia. Left there Christmas Eve 2005, Christmas Day 2006. We were Precise Home Inspections. So how's that go? Well, going to A-Hit says, well, go pound the real estate offices. How welcome was I? Not very welcome, okay? But I made my way through it, and I pounded the whole circuit for real estate industry. Hit every local real estate office, did sales meetings left and right, built as many social or personable relationships with the realtors as fast as I could, because, again, it was sink or swim, and I kind of like that pressure. So we did that for years, and I think we did 125 my first year, which A-Hit said, you should be doing about 175, so I felt like a failure. I listened to Ken's tapes, and he says, what 70 is the average, 65, so, I felt better about that. But then we kind of just stagnated. The next year was about the same thing, and the next year about the same thing, and, you talk to your family members and friends, like, oh, well, you're doing good because the economy's going down. It's terrible. Okay, Well, again, Gary, I met him back a couple of years ago at a commercial inspection seminar training or whatever, and he told me about Ken, and I never got the pink postcards, but I went to the site, and I kind of played with it, and I should have jumped on then. I didn't do it until last year, and we joined Ken, and this year we're up 43% in units and 35% in revenue. So we've had 3 price increases in the last year. Going off Gordon Fox's, listening to his video or audio on the file, he said, if you're booked out 3 days ahead, raise your prices.
Yes, sir.
Did it. So that's what we look forward to, is this continued growth. I'm sorry, Joe, that this is my first year and I got up here. It was all him, not me. What did we do? Chocolate houses. We went through chocolate houses. I need to kind of reevaluate that, because I've got a Coldwell Banker office that I can't keep full literally I've given... Probably I leave $60 in chocolates with the real estate agent, and if I come back the next week, the secretary, she says we're out. So I mean, I'm up to, I guess, go up to 150 or I don't know.
How much business are you getting in return?
Not probably 20% growth out of that office.
I think it's not about the investment, it's about the return. If you spend 100 a week and you got 500 a week, would you do it? Yeah. Okay. If I'm spending 100 a week and I'm getting 30 a week, I'd say bye-bye. But I'd do an interim strategy before that. So see how much business you're actually getting versus how much you're spending.
Okay.
It's a seed.
A seed, yeah. It has got me in there. I think I have picked up about 4 agents, so I'm going to keep playing with it a while and see if it does pan out. Jennifer at Asset Mac, that's been huge, helping out there. The realtor marketing tips, we send those out. RPAC, talk about getting involved. I was actually the RPAC chairman for the Carpet Capital Association of Realtors this year. That's not supposed to be possible according to the realtor bylaws. So they had to put somebody's name on there. So they used a realtor's name, but they actually, every meeting, they introduced me as the RPAC chairman. And I think we raised like $12,000 or something in RPAC money. So, and that's gone a long way. You want to really help out realtors, kind of, when you show that kind of commitment, I'm sure I'll probably get affiliate of the year, those kind of things. They like it. Believe it or not, I've had them come up to me and say, we can't believe all that you give back to your real estate association. And I said, well, it kind of goes back to the golf industry. If somebody wants to know about that, I can get into that. So 2010 goals, I need to see some hands on somebody that can help me track. Does anybody have good tracking or systems in place for that? Tracking marketing, direct marketing, sales flyer stuff. Yeah? No? Gordon, can I see you later? Perfect. We want to get a handle on it. I'm one of those guys that, I listened to got the drinking through the fire hose and implemented probably 7 things that I'm forgetting about, and not being able to track it all is probably a big problem for me in the consistency in it. So getting the systems in place and being able to track what's working, what's not working, I really look forward to that because as this whole seminar is about, we don't want to waste our marketing money. Thank God we found something that's cheap or relatively free to advertise with. Thank you, Ken. So we look forward to that and continual growth in 2010. Thanks.